Hey, Frank, they were asking about a girl murdered in Battery Park a couple of weeks ago. She was in the station.
You remember seeing her?
I was wondering when you'd get around to talking with us. Yeah. I recognized her when I saw a picture in the newspaper.
You noticed her that night?
There's not much else to do down here but notice the pretty girls. I saw her. I said to myself, that is a pretty girl.
You remember anybody talking to her or following her?
No. But she got a phone call just before she left.
Maybe we should be writing this down.
Good idea.
You said that she got a phone call just before she left.
Right.
And did you see anyone following her?
Your partner already asked me that. You know, you should write down your questions and mark them off as you ask them. That way you won't repeat yourself.
Good idea.
We gotta go. Shift's changing.
Mr. McNair, you here to volunteer your DNA?
This is still about that girl?
We took samples from every guy at her work. Now we're doing the same along the route she traveled.
No one's turned us down yet. How about it?
The big DNA dragnet, huh? This is what you guys do when you run out of ideas?
Pretty much. Now, there's a questionnaire to fill out for every sample. You have any kids?
Why do you need to know that?
We don't. The lab does.
Sure. I got one son.
Date of birth?
1971. No, wait, 70.
City of residence?
Not sure. He was my kid from my first wife.
Well, how about the last time you talked to him? Where was he?
He was 13. He called me. He was still in New Rochelle. Kid's mother was getting remarried. Her husband wanted to adopt him. He had this crazy idea that I wouldn't be his dad anymore.
I hope you set him straight.
I told him that piece of paper doesn't mean squat. He was my flesh and blood, my DNA. Can't run away from it. He got the best of me the night I rolled off his mother.
Open wide.
I saw right through that DNA crap. Now, if I hadn't volunteered, they'd use it as an excuse to crawl right up my ass.
Frank, relax. They've already indicted somebody. Some guy named Keith Durbin.
You want to hear what he has to say?
What was that?
They're doing renovations next door. Let's talk about your son, Keith. After we got your DNA, we tracked down his whereabouts.
He's the guy you should be looking at for this.
Oh, it's funny you should say that. We talked to his mother. She told us she remembered him dressing up his teddy bear in her bra and panties and tying a little string to the bear's foot.
Well, there you go. Panty-waist little pervert. His mother did it to him, all that mollycoddling.
How do you figure?
She would let little Keith sleep in the bed with us until he was 5. That's not normal. Not for a boy.
Well, I don't understand, Frank. Didn't you tell him when he was 13 that everything he was, he owed to you? The flesh and blood speech, how he couldn't run away from the great genetic gift you gave him?
I just wanted to get him off the phone. He was all upset about being adopted.
Oh, we heard you were in a hurry to sign off on that. Was it because you'd be off the hook for child support?
These cops, they're geniuses. You know, sometimes I'd look into that muley little kid's face and wonder if he even was my flesh and blood. That mother of his, I wouldn't put it past her. Oh, well, look who's joining the party. Have you got your list of questions?
Just answers, Jake.
What was all that racket out there?
That was the sound of the hammer coming down on you, Jake.
Stop calling me that.
Your son gave you up. Kimberly Lang. He found your Polaroid of her in your car.
He hasn't been in my car since he was 8. You're gonna believe what a kid saw?
He remembers everything. Everything that excited his dad. Right down to the color of the rope that you used on her. Blue and white?
Same color of the fibers found embedded in Kimberly's wrists.
I gotta figure this out for you, huh? The kid probably read about it in the papers.
That detail was never made public. It was never in the papers.
That little bastard.
It is free you now, Frank. Cast you out of his head. Out of his head.
Get up, big man. You're under arrest for the murder of Kimberly Lang.
6 counts of first-degree murder, and you'll be hearing from the authorities in New Jersey.
You nosy little deviant. Your own father. How could you?
How could you, Dad?
Dad? You're no son of mine.